I can honestly say good morning. It pretty much applies to almost every time zone and probably listeners of this particular broadcast. Welcome to Link to the Past Randomizer Invitational League Week 3, excuse me. This is almost all dungeons, key sanity. Bright and early kicking off the maybe early weekend for some people. It is Friday morning between Correct, representing We All Should Hover Every Day, versus Red Kisune, representing Bolas Azules. And of course, in this, almost all dungeons key sanity seed. What's the adage? The early rando bird gets the boots. I'm really hoping that happens because I don't think it's gonna get much earlier than 5 a.m. on the East Coast. I guess 11 a.m. in Eastern, in Europe. I am, of course, Claire Mouse. Joined with me is a fellow washed member, Jem. Looking forward. Hopefully, maybe this is going to be a precursor to your race later this afternoon or evening. Of course, tracking for us is the one and only Never in Deutsch. Jem, how's it going?
Yo, good morning from Eastern Palace.
It is a good palace. Korik even has an emote for that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Do you think it'll lock the boots today?
I hope if it does, I hope they go there early. I know that some people may have an opinion about Eastern Palace, whether or not you can go into that dungeon with or without the other, corresponding items that make it clearable. Name that being like the bow and the big key. Of course, this is being key sanity. I don't actually know what that mantra is based on. It's only like specific just keys, like not entrance, because sometimes that that mentality does maybe change a bit. But it seems like just for any maybe like 80 keys, almost 80 keys, whatever various you have, it is going to be certainly of the mindset that you're going to be as efficiently focused as possible.
And if there's one person that's good at efficient full clearing, I think that's Korek. Yeah,
that
excited to see what he does here.
Ooh,
getting the odd red rupee ball is pretty nice for both of them.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like actually, so Rekazune and Neil's doing quick lumberjack. Well, doing an early lumberjack check. We have a compass there. I'm hoping that it is not the Picky to Thieves Town because note that there is a second A in almost dungeons, or maybe like the first one, right? It is almost all dungeons, meaning in this specific mode, the GT big key is on pedestal. So we certainly have to do all the pendants in order to get the GT big key. We have to do all the crystals, get into GT. But most notably, we may not have to do AGA 1 for at least the goal. We may have to do it for Dark World access, or I guess if they're really interested in that compass, on Lumberjack. But that is the caveat in this case, or a feature, of this mode.
Yeah. So Red Kitsune took the lumberjack route, which let him get 2 tree poles, which will put him ahead in rupees here. We'll see if that matters for Zora later.
Actually, so if Korik decides to do South Shore now, I mean, is there like another convenient-ish like tree pole that he can get? And so there's one in Kakariko, right? That he really wants.
Yeah. So he has a sword now, so he could decide to do escape before South Shore and pull the tree at Uncle.
Oh right,
that's definitely an option here.
Yes. Not to mention, I think Mini Moldorm Cave, I guess when we eventually get there, will also be significantly easier to made by that sword. So.
Oh yes. Yeah, it's like anything that is not just bombs from Mini Moldorm Cave is such a blessing.
Yeah.
Because you can do it in 3 bombs, but sometimes you need 9 or more, which would be very unfortunate.
Yeah, the bomb hitbox is surprisingly finicky, even for these like little things. And then I guess also maybe there's something to do with like if you throw the bomb and it lands, but it like explodes on the same frame it lands or something, then like it doesn't end up hitting. I don't know. There are some really people posted many clips about. It's just the anomalies sometimes of like the bomb basically not doing what it's expecting to do.
Yeah, that coupled with the Mini Moldorms just. Not being the friendliest guy when it comes to wanting them dead. Yeah, sometimes they're just too good at avoiding your bombs, so anything that's not bombs is just so nice.
Right, yeah, no, I totally agree to that. Actually, so we actually, that early money, while it may not necessarily be like a direct, actual, like physical payout, in that We do need certainly the big key to Turtle Rock, from Bottle Vendor eventually. It may not just be completely relevant, but that early bit money though certainly does, at least give some comfort that, again, like it's about efficiently full clearing, right? So you don't really want to necessarily come back here if you don't have to. Oh, look at that great big key that we found in Tavern.
Yeah. Okay, Korik decided to buy some additional bombs here, despite having a sword and 3 bombs for like South Shore stuff. It's safe. Maybe a bit dangerous considering the money situations. Although once we find the 300, we have enough for Zora, and if we don't find 300, we won't have enough most likely. So it's probably okay to spend that money here.
Yeah. And I guess also like Korik knows about the tier 1 tree pull too. So like if he really wants to probably farm up money, we can also get kind of lucky. Oh, we actually have a chicken rescue as well. Yeah, but we also can maybe kind of lucky, in that, as you said, like we can actually just, there's just straight up chests that we can just find money for. We can go maybe get a glove, all right, on our paths as well. And so there is also, of course, a couple rocks that do house infinite rupees. One of them probably a little bit faster than the other, but like worst case, right, if we're kind of really desperate, that is an option.
Yeah, both of them are taking the race game blind. I like that in AD keys, where the chances of you needing that item on race game are just so much higher that it just makes sense to go there blind.
Oh yeah. Yeah, in turns out in this case, we don't actually particularly need it, but yeah, it actually looks like, and maybe, as you mentioned, a slightly different, just in terms of like resource management. So Rekizune didn't actually end up buying bombs, it looks like, but he's also got a lot more money. So we're gonna see in this case kind of how things shake up in South Shore. Yeah, because as we're kind of seeing here, Korik actually and Rekizune looks like we're gonna both do South Shore, but certainly Rekizune is in a much better position to pay off Zora.
Yeah. He got the second tree pull in, and he didn't end up buying the bomb, so he's 130 rupees ahead. Even a bit more, right? I guess he picked up some extra pods.
Yeah, I think so. I know he skipped at least one though in the wall, but it's unlikely, at least from probably his perspective, that that 5 rupees. So we are actually, okay. So part of the like 80 keys or 80 whatever these variants are, just like what with entrance or without. Unlike only one ice rod in the seed, there are like 20. Medallions certainly can be part of that collection, but we are certainly getting some pretty early ones. We've got Quake, in Lost Woods. We got Bombos. Suddenly, a lot of, overworld, let's say Dead Rocks, underworld, maybe even mini Moldarms, might be feeling a bit more of a threat.
Yeah, you could certainly decide to. Speaking of bombs for mini Moldar.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, okay, so luckily, probably for the better, right? We actually do see that mini Moldar are actually in the bomb price pack. So, at least there is some amount of saving grace, right? Even though this cave was completely worthless, not even worth like the bombs that we spent. Speaking of bombos, though, also Rekizune taking some time.
Definitely not worth for Korik. For Rekizune, that puts him 10 rupees away, or 9 rupees away from Zora.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So, depending on what we find in Icewood Cave, he might be able to do it here. Although, the thing is, so doing Zora here is not that enticing, because you don't have a Pearl yet, you don't have Boots, you can't do the waterfall along with it. So you'd really just be fake flippering for only Zora, which is just slow, extremely slow.
Yeah, and also, like, you can't, like, I certainly without this equipment, I assume you can't sequence break off Zora Ledge, right?
Yeah, no. You can only peek at the Zora Ledge and do Zora.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So then, like, I mean, I guess, like, maybe it's, if you're really interested in knowledge, right? Like, if let's just say there's, like, a Pearl on there, right? Okay, like, now and you're probably gonna go try and find flippers, right, somewhere, but, at the same time, like, that knowledge, right, definitely costs you, like, a lot of time to go get, so maybe not, not worth it.
It's questionable if, like, a Pearl knowledge there is even that important. Like, some late game item would be more important, or maybe Boots or something like that. But, like, you'd be funneled into Pearl anyway early, so you'd just find the flippers, and once you find the flippers, you would go do Waterfall Zora anyway.
Right.
So, but looks like Rekizune is, I guess, is Hobo.
Yeah, that's actually what I was guessing, because I was trying to so I guess like is it a blessing or a curse to be this close to Zora money? You said we are 9 rupees short of that 500, right? And it looks like he kind of in the area. I do actually like the decision for both Korik and Merkizune to like go visit Ice Rock Cave. It is certainly in many UCs before, certainly this week, like Ice Rock Cave. I mean, it's not quite like a Gina level, in terms of like how terrible that check is, but without boots, without flute, it can get isolated for sure. And when it was if there's like a flute there, there's a glove there, like you are going to be very sad, right, if you end up missing it.
Yeah, this whole check is, I'd say, pretty risky. We'll see if it pays off. But oh my god.
Oh my god. All right, well, Rikizune, you know what? It's only like 11 a.m., so I feel like he's, probably already slept in, but holy frick, though. So when do you think Korik is going to go find those boots?
Oh, for sake, I hope
like,
very soon.
Yeah, that is like an amazing find on Rikizune's side. The holy playable game. I forgot what those guys are called.
Extremely playable now for Rikizune.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so the hobo check is like it's pretty questionable questionable in the sense that you'd spend a lot of time for an out of logic check to you walk out of Ice Road Cave, you walk all the way to the fake flipper screen transition, and then you swim all the way to hobo. Like, it certainly has a lot of risk associated with it because it's just so slow for an out of logic check, but if you find the boots, like, that is 5,000% worth it.
Oh yeah, or more for that matter. Oh, for sure. And actually, and maybe this was actually like the blessing, right, in disguise for Rikizune, because I think if he had 500, right, he would just gone to Zora. I mean, looked like he was just gonna go to Zora, right? But I guess maybe he since he was here. Maybe, yeah. But it seemed like he.
Like, you can't do waterfall or anything along with Zora, so maybe if you're gonna fake flipper there, you would still just go to hobo.
Okay. I'm wondering actually then if he actually found, let's say, like 20 rupees or something, at hobo, then he would have actually just turned straight around and then just swam over to Zora. But but still, like, he definitely, I mean, sometimes, in the words of the other, Wash member, it only takes one from, quote, Activoker. That one item, sometimes, more often than not, it does end up like, that is like associated with last location type of thing. But holy cow, like this one item for Rikizune is like a gigantic boost. For what it's worth, I think actually this is Rikuzune's first league race, if I'm not mistaken. I think his teammates, Kaede and Matt Cap, were also like playing for weeks 1 and 2, so at least the first appearance in league. Has been dabbling, it seems like, in some more glitched modes. And of course, all those modes start with boots, so I think this is also, just kind of further on, like, pads on the comfort level, right, for him. Oh, got a big key of Thief's Town. Okay, in the front of in Dark Cross. It is in logic, of course, with the lamp.
Yeah.
Always there.
Looks like progression sits in the eastern area somewhere.
Alright, maybe Eastern will have flippers. And and looks like actually Korik is kind of close, right, to that 500 mark. But I guess, as you mentioned before, well, okay, if we find the flippers, that's probably one of the best case scenarios, right, for Korik, because then he can, he can actually check like Zora and Waterfall, and then maybe go over to hobo, since it is in logic for him.
Yeah, I would assume he'd do hobo first, since he would start at Link's house and then do it. So finding flippers would be, obviously a very big blessing for him. If we don't find flippers, I don't know when you'd go. Like, you probably wouldn't be too concerned about Zora, unless it's like last location-ish. There might be a glove in the back of Escape with that. I
was even just thinking that too, So, yeah, because, so both, of course, okay, this is, of course, even parity, right, for Korik and Rikizune. Nobody knows, of course, where the items are placed, but maybe they'll, well, Rikizune doesn't know this, but Korik might be feeling a little bit more annoyed, right? It's like, I was literally just at the front of Escape, right?
Yeah. Rikizune is gonna have the same experiences now, but like you said, parody, but it's not really true, because Rikizune has boots, so the back track will be faster for him.
I was also just thinking that, talking about, so, of course, both Korik and Rikizune, are certainly very talented with boosts, but, and this is also kind of another one of those consequences, right, where the larger the time gap between two runners, one having the boots and one's not, there's going to be kind of like a time time trickle, right? Just in terms of slow, not necessarily slowly, but it is going to be like the longer somebody else goes without boots, right? It's kind of like the more noticeable that the time difference in terms of drifting is going to be apparent.
Yeah, so, it's gonna be visible very soon too. Like you can see Rekitsune has a full hobo, like walking out of Ice Rod Cave and then fake flippering there over Korek, and like he's pretty close to catching up here.
Oh yeah.
Just,
and of course
because he had the boots for escape and going to Saraswara so far.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. Right, of course, among many other things that, of course, the boots afford you, in terms of like luxury and comfort. Probably the first and foremost one is the raw speed that you are afforded. And while you still get the boots in Eastern Palace, right, that is one of the prizes post dungeon. It does kind of give you, I think, by game design, it does have all the good number of like long hallways, right? They're like, man, I really wish I could go faster in these rooms, right? And when especially you come back with the boots, right, kind of on what Rekitsune is doing, yeah, you definitely notice, like, you definitely have a better appreciation, more so for boots.
So far we haven't found that much.
Yeah, we did find a shield.
The Eastern Big Key will be relevant, maybe?
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is definitely relevant. Well, we certainly have Hammer, so that is one piece of our Dark World access. The hammer is sadly not the flippers. The hammer can certainly lead to the flippers, but like especially if you're rooting for Korek, for hovering, we all should be hovering, doing that every day, right? Korek really needs those boots from Hobo, and I mean, while the flippers are not necessarily like a strict condition to go to Hobo, it certainly would make it a lot more palatable. It is certainly not sufficient, by the way, either, right? Just because he has flippers doesn't mean he's gonna rush Hobo, but at least you gotta help him out when you can, right?
Yeah, Hobo is certainly still just like a very bad check, just very slow. So, like the only time or like the only way that I could see Korek go there quickly would be if flippers show up before Dark World access, because once you have Dark World access, you just have way better things to do than Hobo.
Yeah. And I guess for what it's worth, though, like, well, no, I guess we still need the flippers. Like, if we can get mirror and flippers, like, we can, like, we're kind of going by like the hype cave pyramid. Like, I guess it would have to be still pre-flute, right?
Yeah, I mean it depends. Okay, well, it's Key Sanity, so we're probably not doing hype cave to pod ever, considering there's no way we'll have enough pod small keys.
Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? That is an excellent point. I did forget that we probably. So okay. So while yes, pod does have a meme reputation of there is at least one pod key, maybe two, maybe three or four pod keys in pod. However, though, it is still a bring your own keys type of dungeon. So you probably want to come a little bit prepared at least, right?
Okay, so Rekitsune, instead of going through the sewers to the back of escape, is gonna make use of the boots. Check out Bonkrocks here and maybe also move on to Secret. Can't go up the mountain from here since we don't have a glove yet.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, both of them ended up taking a little bit of extra time to go to Vanilla Big Key Chest in Eastern Palace. It's not, again, and that's probably one also, you mentioned, right, because the sheer speed at which Rekitsune already has kind of over Korek, that chest in particular is significantly faster with boots. I mean, everything's significantly faster with boots, but it's very noticeable for that particular check.
Yeah.
All right, what's back here? Wow, okay. That's
just
our pearl. That's,
so
yeah.
Secret has the gloves, right? We are out of... No, yes, there's still Desert and Nagina, right? Yeah, right.
Oh, right, yeah, we have the book. Yeah, and I think that's... Every single time Korek starts at his house, I just think, oh, well, surely he could go... He's not being flippering Toho. He's going to Desert,
Just walk to 8 and fake flipper.
Yes, that's...
That's certainly on his mind.
Oh, yeah, that... I might have a few questions for him during the interview if that's what he ultimately decides to do. But, so while, of course, Rekitsune, is doing all the stuff that, Korek is also doing a bit faster, you can actually see in this case, like, so Rekitsune certainly hasn't been over to the back of escape yet, through the front of escape, but in terms of just like still being efficient, like these guys are doing a pretty good job, right? Not really leaving any holes, at least like logical holes.
So Rekitsune is just going straight to Desert, where Korek is going to Agana. Rekitsune's route is faster, unless there's something you want for desert in Agana, like a desert Vicky.
Oh,
or a glove.
There's a glove. Okay, so that's our Dark World access. Correct. Yeah. Oh, thinking about saving and quitting, maybe.
Yeah, makes sense. You can't really do anything like much in desert right now. Essentially, only the map chest, right? Yeah, we don't have any keys. We don't have the boots for the torch.
Yeah, that's true. So okay, so maybe this is going to be information scanning, or this could also just be map chest as well. You know, make sure that we don't necessarily leave anything.
Just
all right, we're not going to desert. Okay.
Makes sense. Yeah. So this is gonna be really good for Rekitsune because he will not need to walk through escape. He can just take these gloves and go straight to the back of escape.
You're right. Yeah, that's actually
which is interesting. Like when we got this Hyrule Smoky, I said there's a glove in the back of escape and not the pearl because like it felt like the seed just gave you everything to get to the back of escape the non-glove way. Which kind of would imply that the glove would be there, but I guess, the random game sometimes is random, so just happened to be laid out this way,
this
and the Smoky and the Amp were just not necessary.
Yeah, it's definitely a very human, I guess, like trait to try and, I guess, like impose whatever, like our particular, I guess, like patterns, onto actually maybe like random things that actually occur. So it is, but it is certainly very interesting. But yeah, as you said, like Rekitsune, basically right on cue, right, taking those gloves, and then this is also kind of like highlights a bit of a difference in terms of efficiency, right, or the correct sequence of order of operations for the seed in particular, and while you still can't control the order, like where the items are placed, Rekitsune's getting the glove before Pearl, certainly helped him out quite a bit.
Okay, so both starting at Hype Cave. Makes sense. In Key Sanity, you generally want to do overworld over dungeons first, just so you can collect all your keys that you need for inside the dungeons.
Yeah, and also this, like, at least like this south route though, like Hype Cave, I mean, right now, as you mentioned, that this certainly is very a common opening. Just happens to be, we're also still kind of lacking a few things, right? We don't really have a mirror, we don't really have myths, so it looks like it's probably just going to be Hype Cave, probably, into Stumpy and digging, unless something else pops up here. I guess, where would you go next? Mountain?
We can't really do anything on the mountain without a mirror or a hookshot, so probably just the village.
Okay.
Would be my guess.
Oh yeah, that's true. We can actually go to the village. We did pick up a Cane of Samaria. PSA: do not skip the game. It is not a good idea to skip the game.
Yeah, certainly not in the sea. After all, you have to clear almost all dungeons.
That's
and that
right.
Includes, the Cane dungeons. I guess it's going right after Hype Cave. I'm gonna Pyramid and Catfish, I assume.
Yeah, Pyramid Catfish. I mean, I certainly assume that he feels amazing actually finding those the boots at Hobo. Like, like while yes, like your opponent could have also done the same thing, but like I think it definitely took some very good things, I guess, in combination to happen for him to go get, to be able to find the booth that early, right? So yeah, if he's gonna do like a Hobo or Pyramid Catfish type of route, or we're just gonna go check Pyramid to make sure that things are okay. Like he might feel like he has a little bit of time to buffer.
Rushing Paw, that's interesting. That's pretty brave.
How many pot keys do we have?
2 small keys. 2 small keys, no big key, okay. no bolt. That's interesting. There's barely anything in logic here.
Well, I will say for what it's worth, right? If we were going to apply logic to when you were supposed to get these boots, Rekitsune is like way ahead of the game. I don't know, maybe he, thinks that the iron can, strike twice for this. I mean, like Hobo in this case was, there were many reasons why you don't want to do Hobo. I think people will probably actively look for a reason why you want to do Hobo, but it paid off for him. And, I guess maybe, maybe he's hoping that something similar will happen here in Pod as well.
Yeah, I mean, you can get most things. I guess you can make it to the bag. You just skip Harmless Highway, Big Key Chest, and depending on whether you want to do the bolt locked side, you also skip that.
Yeah.
Or not.
Yeah, that's.
And of course, Hammer. But, yeah. I mean, you just accept the double dip here when you go this early, that's for sure.
What do you think about the chances of there being a bow here in pod? If there was a bow here in pod, like I would, I mean, I would be extremely flabbergasted and like amazed because I think, well, I guess you need a bow and big key, right, to actually finish up the dungeon. Yeah. That's asking a lot, even for. Oh my god. I was gonna say that's asking a lot for pod, but you know what? We also found the mids here. I don't know how you like Rekusune is. I mean, on like proverbial fire, like his route has been amazing. Yeah, that was a really impressive poker as well.
Taking our gimmick. Oh wow.
Gosh, holy frick, dude, where are these items? Rekusune has made like I don't know. He has literally, you know, like there is the meme, right? Go to the items. He has literally gone to the items. I'm not sure if there was actually like any real times when he hasn't like found some amount of progression. Even when he was finding like progression, like in the normal quote-unquote path, he still found it like faster, right? You know, like finding the glove before the pearl, so you can go back and escape early or easier.
Yeah, interesting decision to death warp there because he has the hammer. He could have just jumped down. But maybe finding all those items, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably some excitement involved there.
Alright, well, Korik actually, so talk about his own sequencing. So he actually did a pretty good job because we found the small key of Thieves Town here in Pinball Room in Skull Woods with the big key and, you know, with the hammer. Looks like we have a fully clearable dungeon on our hands.
Yeah, that's very nice. I think
is that the fire rod, maybe?
I couldn't tell with the colors.
Yeah, it's a little hard to tell with the palette shuffle. Oh my gosh, though. Well, talk about more emos coming out of this game. I think if those of you who are potters in chat, yeah, pod is the way to go. You know, I guess like the place to be. We got hook shot, we had fire rod, we had mitts.
I think the bomb is too far right. Nope, never mind.
Okay, yeah, sometimes it's a little hard to tell. But... Okay, so I'm gonna certainly, I guess, like make the assumption that while there've been a lot of goodies here in pod, powder also being probably also, very nice luxury item, of course, gives us magic bat. The things that are locking like the really nice items have to show up at some point, right? Like we are gonna have to find a bow, presumably. Now, of course, granted, the bow can be pretty terrible, right? Like, in locations, but I do kind of assume that those items will be showing up probably sooner rather than later.
Yeah, the gloves are, or the mitts rather, are in logic, which is
with one
key.
key, right?
Yeah, and like the other items, the hookshot and the fire rod, don't really lock that much. Well, hookshot can lock all of Eastern Mountain, depending on where the mirror is, but that aside, they aren't that important to the seed's progression, so like the bow and the other pod keys, they could be pretty buried.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess like with the fire rod, nice entry to King's Tomb as well. This guy's been practicing his good stuff. So with the fire rod, and I guess looking at one Skullwood small key, never mind, two Skullwood small keys. The second one, we just found it. Like, I guess if you Rikasune, so the route he's looking to take is, I guess like Thieves Town into Skullwoods, Skullwoods walking out of Skullwoods and going south.
We'll see. Like he still has Big Game and Stumpy left. Well, it looks like we're going to the mountain first.
Oh, okay. That does make sense.
That makes sense. Yeah. Overworld before dungeons and Key's Entity, like I said earlier. And like you might still want to try to find the mirror, so to make the Smith chain faster while you're in the village.
Oh, right. So, yes, that is something very true. And maybe yeah, and of course like the glove and the lamp is like a logical way up the mountain. We found flippers? Oh my god, correct. Go to Hobo. Go to Hobo. We believe in you. Leave right now, okay? Like, I know you have a clearable Thieves Town ahead of you. We really just want you to go get the boots.
Yeah, this might motivate Correct to go to Hobo into Waterfall and Zora after this.
I would absolutely love it to see Korek pick up those boots. Correct, yeah. While yeah, for those of you who may, be, tuning in not at the beginning of the seed, like, while normally, like, you don't get excited, like, this excited about seeing flippers, but Rekisune, on a, like, a quad the play early on in the game, he had 491 rupees going into Ice Rock Cave, did not get the 10 rupees, maybe, that he wanted for Zora, decided to do an out-of-sequence hobo check there, no pearl, no flippers, we found the boots at Hobo, so we were kind of wondering at that point when Korek would be able to go back, and well, it's not a guarantee, that Korek's going to go back to Zora area immediately, let alone Hobo, but it is certainly at least, one step in the right direction, one flipper in the right direction.
Yeah, it's for the sake of the race, we want Korek to find those boots sooner than later, otherwise it's just gonna be a blowout with Kitsune having the boots forever and just saving infinite time.
Yeah, I mean, we also want Korek to have fun. We also need him to hover. I'm pretty sure, otherwise he's off the team, right? That was what I was told.
Yeah, like, he already didn't hover, like, his first appearance in the league, right? So he had to make up for that.
True. Oh, wow.
Here's the other rock.
Yeah, and he found the 15 skulls and the bow. Oh, wow. Okay,
oh, that's interesting. So either there's another bow available or the mirror's available to get over here, because the hookshot was bow locked.
Okay, so what you're telling me is there's a chance, actually, if we can get flippers and mirror on Korek's side, we can do Hobo the fast way. Yeah, my hopium has suddenly risen a little bit. Maybe not a lot, but, there's hope.
Well, if we want him to do Hobo the fast way, he would have to go to pod, right? And I don't think Korek goes to pod on 2 small keys and, like, no bow, no big key. So he would probably also want to find the bow.
that is true. That is.
And the bow unlocks the hookshot, which would mean we don't need the mirror doesn't have to be available anymore.
Do you know if Korek has tendencies to do, I guess, like, just pyramid? I mean, maybe I guess maybe in keys modes you want to try and wait for that mirror too. If, like, to go to pyramids and you do castle tower. Maybe you also might want to wait for a castle tower key as well. I guess I'm not sure.
Yeah, I guess you'd want the mirror for that. Yeah. Well, we'll see what he finds here. Like, he's done with this route after this, for sure. Because he already did the game in Stumpy.
Right.
And we know he can't find the mids on blind T. Well, he could find the mirror, so maybe he would want to go to K45 or something, but... yeah, most likely he's just done here.
Yeah, and that's also a good point, you're right. Like, we can't actually do anything else, and I guess that's kind of maybe one of the benefits of doing, like, a hype cave into, like, Stumpy and Dig Game. You kind of already eliminate the whole south part, of Dark World, so then, especially for Korek, right, that's, another great reason, actually, you can basically do, like, a, get everything you can out of Skull Woods and then just go south. You don't have to necessarily make a decision. Okay, alright. So it looks like we actually did know that Thiefstown was a pendant. We did find a map. No, unfortunately, no compass, so we couldn't really... did we find a compass, actually? I don't remember being able to count along.
This looks like water checks anyway.
Oh my gosh! Alright, we're gonna do this! Oh, okay, that's great. It's only... Rekisune did get them, like, extremely early, so I am really glad, though, that Korek, staying logic, this is actually a really good thing for him. He's gonna go get
and we're going Hobo. Okay, so he's gonna get his boots here.
Alright, at least we got at least a bit of even footing, pun also not intended, that Korek's gonna get his boots relatively soon. So at least we'll have parity now with Rekisune, but of course, I mean, in combination of all the Rekisune's decisions, right? Going to early Hobo to get his boots, going to pod with 2 small keys, fighting mitts. What else do y'all find in there? Fire Rod, hookshot on the Bolas side. He found powder, as another luxury item. I mean, like, and all of this stuff is just, it's just paid off so well for him so far.
Yeah, certainly insane payoff so far. We'll see what's on Zora and stuff that could, get Korek ahead a bit. Korek also will have the cane when on the mountain. So if there's something in TR, Korek could be early to that.
True. And, well, yeah. Okay, so I guess on the one hand, like, if there's something in, TR Compass room? Like, he can't get Fire Rod side, right? Because he doesn't have the Fire Rod, presumably from Pod?
Well, once he's in pod, he will get the fire rod. So he needs to get the mids out of pod to go into TR.
Oh,
so
right. That's a great point.
Most
Yeah,
likely.
that is a great. We've broken logic so many times. It's like, oh, that's, that makes a lot of sense. That you actually do need, yes. By the way, it's good practice for pilots for the next week. As a runner, I think that Pokover's piloting is always a great reminder to remind your pilots that yes, in fact, you do need this for Dark Death Mountain. All right, looks like it is Quake today, which we did find in Lost Woods. Korek not caring about the 300 on that was the refund from Zora, but we did find a small key here on Zora Ledge. So actually, yeah, I think it was actually a good idea for him to delay the Zora area. Ooh, that's actually a really good small key.
TR small, yeah. Like he just needs to scrape up one more TR small key, right? By the time he makes it to the mountain. And
oh, you mean to make it to like...
Yeah, and then he will be able to clear TR while he's there.
Oh, right, because we bought the... Right, because we bought the early big key from Bottle Merchant, right, yeah. And yeah, so if he goes to pod, right, he's going to go get his fire rod, and then, you know, we saw on Rekisuda's side, we got the ice rod, and we can get in. So that actually is looking pretty small.
I would be surprised if Korek decides to clear Ice Palace before going to East Death Mountain. Because, well, we can get everything except the big chest in rare right now. We already have the cane. After pod, he will have the fire rod, so it's not like it's super slow or anything.
I guess I would also become maybe a little bit surprised. I mean, like, I'm trying to remember some of Korek's tendencies especially for keys mode. I would think that maybe you would try and delay it just a little bit though, because as you said, right, like it's about efficient full clearing, and we don't have the big key, right? So then you are going to isolate that big chest.
Yeah, so the idea was that clearing ice before the mountain gives him like 7 more chances to find the TR small key, to be able to clear TR while he's on the mountain. But yeah, on the other hand, he could also very well think, well, if I go to the mountain first, I might find the Ice Palace big key there to clear Ice Palace with. On the other hand, we do know Ice Palace is a pendant, so the big key could just be a GT. So maybe that would also impact his decision making.
Yeah, that's also another good point. And just like any other AD keys variants, right? So the dream, of course, is to never have to touch the basement. We can just, you know, get everything we want and then climb, because of course that is like the only, you know, hard required portion of the for this mode. But when you know, have pendant big keys, right, or pendant dungeons, you know, that does have big keys, may or may not be required to complete it. I mean, certainly logically, the Ice Palace big key is one of them. It is hard required for logic, but it's not, you know, hard required for us to complete it. Yes, it certainly can be in GT. Yeah, and you know, I think that maybe also, you know, as you mentioned before, Korek will take that into consideration.
Okay, so where are we going? I assume, like, we don't really have anything except pod right now. Well, Pyramid, Catfish, and pod, I think, are Korek's options right now. So we'll see if he decides to do Catfish before pod. There's Desert.
Oh, but we don't have the big key, do we? I don't see it on Nervinosh's tracking.
Nope, but he might be following those boots. He hasn't been inside of Desert yet, he only checked the ledge.
Right.
So
okay.
To him there's still the map chest and the torch available. Which, yeah, I mean, it's in logic, so I guess it makes sense to come here. Over a pod where like a lot of things aren't in logic. It's just unfortunate for him that pod is the right answer.
Yeah. And again, you know, like there's you have to kind of make these decisions, especially kind of like in the mid game when a lot of things are kind of open to you, or you have a couple decisions. Sometimes you just have to, well, I guess, get lucky or get luckier. We do have a small key apparently, or unless he stole that from somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that actually, that makes a lot more sense then. Yeah. Yeah, and in this case, of course, if Korek just ends up finding like the Desert Palace big key, which, you know, I mean, it's not necessarily that likely because that is actually quite elusive big key in general for keys modes. But you know, if it happens to be here, you know, we're good to go. I mean, we're not actually good to go because we don't have bows, but you know, I'm just saying, like, he can actually claim the prize to this dungeon, whether it's a crystal or a pendant.
Yeah. Oh, Mafia has a flute.
Well, okay. Well, that fire rod and pod is actually just locking, one great thing after the other, because that is the flute of Mothula. Yeah, Rikuzune's route, my gosh, like he has, like, talk about. I mean, just hitting the right paths and making every single, like, correct decision.
Yeah. Certainly very fortunate. Like, Korek's sort of in trouble here. He needs like something to pay off in a way that Red Kitsune's route didn't pay off, or he's just gonna be playing from behind a lot here.
Okay, so I guess maybe we can take a little bit of inventory stock. So, what do we actually still need for go mode? Just looking at the tracker, at least between Red Kitsune and Korek. Like, so we need a mirror. Yeah. We need a bunch of big keys. It looks like.
Yeah. Which one? Yeah. There's a big key, Pod big key, Maya big key. Then we need Swamp Small. That's
okay.
We need another TR small key.
Yeah, I think we actually have a Swamp Small. Where did Korek? Oh, he got them from the East Side Attic. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh, FaZe is pointing out that yes, in fact, we also do need a sword. We are nowhere close to being Omega playable. We're tempered. In fact, we got our first sword in Kakariko, is that right? And then we haven't seen another one since.
Well, the first sword is the one that matters the most. So it's good that we have that, but yeah. Eventually, we do need to find at least one more.
Yeah, eventually. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm glad in this case that we did find the boots at least earlier than, like, whether or not boots are actually logically required. I guess I don't know. It matters very little probably. It's just like sword go mode is actually very kind of bad. All right, looks like so
yeah. For learning, he has to go to pod.
Yeah, looks like it though. Yeah, and I guess, like, again, like, Korek is very thorough. He is trying to be, as efficiently as he can to full clear it. And there just be, but, sometimes just the way that where the items are placed can, in fact, lead to some, I guess, just inefficiencies that you can't really control, right? So Rikuzume, for example, his ear in Skullwoods, I mean, not only, of course, he had the fire rod in order to go clear it, but he also had the Skullwoods big key, right, from Paradox. So I think he's just done, like, with this place afterwards.
He doesn't need to come back.
Yeah, and I think,
only for the pedestal.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's also a good point. Yes, I did forget that we eventually do have to pull it. And don't be alarmed. Well, okay. The objective thing, of course, to do is especially when you have all three pendants, is just to pull the pedestal. Don't bother reading what it actually is. Okay. Certainly, this mode, everybody knows that, at least the runners do, that the GG Biki is on the pedestal. Like, there is no variation here, so there's no reason for you to go read the text.
Yeah, that's actually the reason why you should read the pedestal, because it's funny.
Go for the memes, yeah. Rikuzune can probably actually afford that. Alright, this is Korek's. Actually, okay, what other options does Korek have right now? Is this kind of his last area that he is able to do? I guess he can go up the mountain, right? But he doesn't maybe want to.
He was up the mountain already. He already went there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so do we have a potion in that bottle?
Yes, we do have a potion, in fact, in this bottle. I forget which color it was. I think it was green, I want to say. Blue, thank you. Yes, they got it very early. I think in the back of Escape, but I just don't remember what color it was.
Yeah, it was somewhere early.
Yes, all right.
Thank you. It's... So I know team name and everything, but I don't think Korek pot hovers. And...
that I think is true. Oh, but you know what? We could be pleasantly surprised right here. Oh, we
bullied him enough that he didn't cover last time. That he, I would be surprised if he doesn't actually know the pixel or anything, but he had to do it now after we bullied him so much last time.
Yeah. I think I saw him maybe do a little bit of practice earlier, like before this race. I don't remember how far he got though. Just maybe as warm up, but at least he's still able to stay on the team, okay? Because he did hover, all right. He just did not get to his final destination.
Okay, but he will be getting his hookshot here on the right side of pod. And yeah, I assume he will also go to the back afterwards and get his fire rod from there.
Yeah. Man,
the interesting thing is, despite clearing this much extra before coming to pod, he actually doesn't have any additional keys. He didn't find any additional small keys to maybe check Harmless Hallway or the big key chest over Red Kitsune, nor did he find the big key to check the big chest.
Yeah, that's actually true. Did Korik open the front door?
Yeah, he did.
He did. Okay. Oh right, that's probably why we're here. And then we're talking about the pod hover. Yeah, I was actually wondering. So I think yeah, I think Korik is pretty against like doing mimics more than twice. Like triple mimics is like, I think that's just he's decided he is not going to do that. So I mean, certainly we also saw Red Kitsune open the front door as well. So like, but yeah, like doing mimics multiple times, you know, just to try and save the keep, probably it seems like on average it's not going to be worth your time.
Oh no, for sure not. Like, it's basically only a decision you ever make in a spoiler, where you know where everything is. But like in a regular race, you just always open the front door.
Yeah. Alright, Korik is getting pretty bullied here by the turtles. Like, he's also... he's employing red mail strats because I think he was just taking the damage. Like, but he, you know, it's very clear that he only has green mail, like, you know, from his outline.
Yeah. He's spending the additional time to, like, set up his room entry down there, just in case he fails the hammer jump. It's pretty slow, like you have 2 extra room transitions and you have to go down there, like it probably almost loses 10 seconds, but it's certainly safe.
Yeah, because I guess like the alternative is that if you fail, right, don't you have to reset the room from the top again? Like go back down the stairs and then come back up?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the issue. If you fail, then you just lose a massive amount of time coming from the top.
Yeah. Alright, that is all of the contents of pod for Korik. So basically, you know, again, yeah, as you mentioned before, no additional small keys in pod, so we can't actually check anything, or the big key for that matter. Also no bow, so we can't actually clear out the dungeon.
Yep. He's not doing ice colors, so we're only gonna have 2 small keys for TR. It's gonna be interesting what he decides to do here. This could be.
Would you?
This could be very big or like very devastating to Korik, depending on if he decides to go into TR and if it has another small key.
Yeah, I guess it's true. I mean, I guess maybe in theory you could, in fact, actually just maybe leave after Dark Descent, or maybe you decides not. Maybe you just decide to go in and check Compass Chest. You know, like it just like or maybe you'll go out with the chomps or something and just won't worry about it.
Yeah, that's also fair. Just do the front and then leave. That makes sense.
Yeah, because I guess in theory we can. Well, okay, so we can get to Mimic Cave. The mirror still seems to be pretty MIA. So Mimic Cave is kind of not, you know, in the picture. But I guess there is like the Turtle Rock big chest, which we can get to. But then again, that's a really far trip just for one check. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, but then again, like I don't know like what's considered, you know, worthwhile, because at the same time, like you have to come back to the mountain again, you know, and so like is it, you know, maybe worth the extra however long it is versus another mountain climb? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, so on 2 keys you can get to Laser Bridge. It's not in logic until 3, but you can definitely get there. So there's more value to moving on, but yeah, it just takes a lot of time to get there, and if you then don't find the small key to kill Trinex, that's pretty rough.
Would you be at all tempted to try and like save a portal or anything like that? Like, you know, let's just say that you made a decision to go over all the way to Laser Bridge, and I don't know. I mean, that sounds. Oh no,
well,
we don't. Never mind. We don't have a mirror, so
yeah.
We can't actually save the portal. Oh.
Actually, another interesting thing is, so Korik knows that the mirror, well, not the mirror in particular, but progression, especially leading to East of Mountain, has to be in either Ice Palace or the Smith Chain right now. Because the
because of the hook shot, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So could have been interesting, like for another reason other than the TR small key, to go to Ice Palace here. Then again, it could just be like another bow, and at that point it would just be not very worthwhile. But
Yeah,
yeah, you could have tried to do Ice Palace to have the mirror for the mountain here.
And so speaking of, though, looks like Rakazuna is actually exploring one of those logical options, right? So he's gonna do like, looks like this is gonna be dig game, and then he's gonna go back and pick up the Smith chain or the Smith, and then maybe continue onward. The mirrorless Smith chain also is kind of terrible, though. But
yeah,
he probably
maybe you just take the Smith here.
Although, yeah. Honestly, though, like, with how Rekusunu's been routing the seed, like, I mean, like, if we just basically see, like, the mirror on the Smith or something like that, the Smith turn, or in purple chest for that matter, like, I would not be surprised whatsoever. But I think
I don't think he's gonna do purple chest anytime soon. But yeah,
okay. True.
I agree that we will probably see it on the mirror, on the Smith here.
I do think, though, it's probably reasonable to think, though, that Ice Palace actually just does have, like, a mirror or, like, a bow or something to try and put the stuff in logic. And, you know, Ice Palace being, like, pretty dense, right? We can get to a lot of places, I think, in Ice Palace, right? Especially on one key. So, I mean, you can't obviously get to the big chest.
The keys don't actually matter for it.
Oh,
yeah, it's just the big chest and cold stare that aren't in logic there right now.
The small key kind of helps you with routing, I assume? Like, it lets you not have to do, I guess, like, some roundabout routes within the dungeon?
Yeah, it can definitely help, especially if you wish to have the cane, but with the cane, it mostly doesn't matter.
Oh, right, because we can just icebreaker in, and this is not key drop, so there are going to be some keys under pots that or blocks that can help us out.
Yeah.
Alright, okay, so Rekusune taking his flute that he earned off of Macula, that when he came over, so, because he did pod first, right, again, just more very fortunate efficient sequencing, right, having the Skullwood's big key, having the Fire Rod from pod, lets him basically, take out Skullwoods in one go.
That's gotta be slower to do Powder first. Because now you have to, like, walk out of the Batcave and walk back up the stairs to turn the Smith.
Yeah, I guess I think so too.
Alright, what does 6 pot keys lock?
Get you.
The GT small?
Looks like is another GT small key. And I guess, okay, so, right, you mentioned before, so what actually can be a GT, or like GT basement? You mentioned Ice Palace big key?
Yeah, but that one,
anything else?
if it's in GT, just doesn't interest us probably. The other, like, well, depends on what the third pendant is. We just don't know that yet.
Oh,
that would be the other thing that could be locked behind GT. Okay, no mirror on the Smith.
So far, yes, that's true, yes.
Are we doing purple chest or are we doing Ice Palace? I think those are the options right now.
Alright,
we're doing ice.
Yeah. Looks like it. Yeah, as you mentioned before, right? Like there are 7 out of 8 locations that we can actually take out, and we actually don't need the big key in order to finish the dungeon. And it's also green pendant for what it's worth. So
yeah, it's interesting that Red Kitsune doesn't do the Zora area first. Actually, he hasn't actually done those yet. Cool. To try and find the ice big key maybe before going in here. But yeah, looks like we're just going to a dungeon. I mean, it's better to come here. The Zora area doesn't have anything.
Well, I mean, so there's a TR small and Zora ledge, so I guess I'm assuming he's going to be able to do that.
Yeah, my bad, I forgot about that.
Yeah, but I mean, like, maybe if he does the dungeon first, like, I guess on the flip side is that he can, I guess, just like save and quit out of the Zora area. I mean, versus, I guess if he does it first, then he has to
save and quit. I think it's still just faster to save and quit out and loot to Ice Palace. But yeah, so Korek made his decision about Yar and decided not to go in.
Okay, we did get some extra information here with a swamp map, so at least on Korek's side, he at least is be actively picking up maps. I think Rekusune has not. Certainly seen him avoid at least one map so far. But I think, yeah, so it sounds like we're gonna actually get some...
Oh, there's the ice cookie.
It's vanilla. It's purely vanilla. Wow, dude, this seed. I think this seed is very, very favored so far for every single one of Rekusune's decisions again was paid off. So he's gonna be able to get everything out of Ice Palace, right? Just single dip everything.
Yep, I mean, It will be the same for Korek once he goes there.
For sure. But, again, like, so Rekasune, he has made decisions, right, to basically go into dungeons that, at least, from the onset, right, does not look like it would potentially get him, like, that much value, right? I mean, so we can only, with 2 keys in pod, maybe it's not terribly appealing just, from logical perspective, right? We are still able to get a lot of stuff out of there, but, again, you try and want to maybe, save your pod trip for when you have a little bit extra stuff, right? But he decided to go in there early. We found a sword in Ice Palace. Went to early hobo without, anything, right? No flippers, no pearl, no... I mean, and he found boots, so it's just like all the stuff has just been, paying off quite handsomely for him. Okay, but looks like Korek, yeah, so Korek...
Yeah, going back to Scoreboard's getting his flute here. Pushing the big chest. The nice thing is, well, the consolation prize for already having little Scoreboards without the fire rod is that he gets to save and quit from the bush chest. Whereas Rekitsune had to walk back, but obviously it's just slower to double dip Scoreboards.
Yeah, I believe, at least though, like this is good on Korek. Did we forget something?
Before we end that. Oh, he wants the magic, I guess.
Oh, okay, that does make a lot of sense. Yeah, right, because he uses blue potion in pod, so he doesn't actually have enough.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if this. Oh no.
Wow. Okay, well, well, Rekasune found our progression in Ice Palace, so what else?
Oh, did he find Mirror?
Yeah, he did. He found Mirror. So game is also now playable, from other people's perspectives. It's certainly at least a good thing for Korek, though, to come to Skullwoods, like, because, we did see that Rekasune picked up Flute on Mothula. Rekasune also making a very good decision to decide to try and use his potion to survive Cold Stare. Also giving
it's both for survival and also making it faster. Okay, that's interesting. Why is Korek doing this first?
Does he want the health refill? Or like the slightly more number of hearts? Is that...
Maybe. I guess so. Could have just powdered the anti-fairy after the torch room.
Oh, right. There it is. Okay, alright, so we are here. Okay, so Rekasune picking up his mirror, picking up his pod big key. So, and of course, we already had the bow from a Paradox Cave. This looks like a very, convenient, like, Palace of Darkness, Eastern Palace combination. And he's gonna be able to turn the green pendant as well from Ice Palace, so... Yeah, this is a lot of stuff. Okay, looks like Korek, wait, did we get the magic? I must have not paid attention. Maybe, did the magic despawn?
No. Yeah, it despawned.
Oh,
right,
well
as Kitsune got the mirror. That's why I missed the mirror, I guess.
Oh, I see. Oh my gosh.
No?
Dude. Oh my gosh. That is awful. Holy cow, that Wallmaster though, like that, I cannot believe it.
Yes, completely ruining Korek's day.
So bad. Okay, you know what? We're gonna actually be given to some pretty nice content. You don't actually. Oh, he had just enough. I was actually hoping he would actually do like the bomb setup in order to get over to bomb jump over to the torch, so you don't actually need the fire rod to go with light. It looks like he had just enough though. Really nice recovery though on Korek's side to basically not panic and, be able to get through that room with just enough magic. Everybody's favorite Mothula fight, Fighter Sword Hammer.
Yeah, not having magic for this fight in theory doesn't matter because you can just hammer it, which is fast anyway.
Yeah. No, very nicely done on Korek's side. Alright, he's gonna get his flute. So, okay, it is still faster to save and quit? Run out? Oh, no, I guess we have to
doesn't have the mirror.
Mirror. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, so if you are Korek, activate the flute, where would you like to go? Ice Palace?
Nice.
Meyer?
Maybe check out the Maya area first to try and find the big key to ice, and then probably ice.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, quick Meyer check, and then maybe I guess we're going. I assume you wouldn't go into Meyer.
I don't know. It feels like you should probably just do Big Healer's Ice Palace over Big Healer's Meyer at that point. Because Meyer you can clear, and Ice you can, so...
Yeah, and I guess like you know that there are...
One double dip.
Right, yeah. So you get the green pendant, which is 8 items, you know, and then up to I guess not as many items for Meyer. Plus, I assume it takes a little bit longer to get to Meyer as well, or like, you know, clearing out the rest of the stuff. And plus, I mean, I guess we're talking about like keys. We only have 2 Meyer smalls. I don't know how tempting left side Meyer is. That's 3 key locked. So. Oh no.
The creeper washes here.
It's nobody wants to talk to that person. Sir, I heard she's a snitch. Alright, the Rikisune. So we're back in pod, so we can certainly beat this dungeon. I guess we would have picked up another pod small somewhere, because Never George has already marked it on the tracker, and I did not pay attention to see where it is. So I guess maybe if you're a Rikisune, like, do you just not care anymore now about, like, Vanilla Bicky Chest and Harmless Hellway? Because it seemed like in order to kind of get back to this location, you would need a lot more keys. But then also they're kind of... I guess there's still 2...
Yeah.
Like, grouped together, so maybe it's not as bad, but still...
No, you... I mean, you could have checked the big chest there, but... You can also decide to skip it. You don't... Actually... Kitsune has 0 TR smalls. What were they again? He has 1 on Zoralash?
He should have 1 from Skullwoods, right?
Yeah. I think you should have that. Okay, so it's just the Zoralash.
Yeah, and I guess...
We're sort of running low on locations where that could be, but... Like, we need at least 1, but probably 1 in TR at this point, honestly.
Yeah, I was even thinking, so, like, for what it's worth, so this is still 100% inventory, not 100% locations. I'm still not actually sure if the 100% locations... I think it's still, I guess, like, not fully functional in at least the tournament branch. So, like, we can have self-locking keys, you know, so, like, Vanilla Bicky Chest and Turtle Rock, for example, can have a self-locking Turtle Rock small. We don't actually know that, you know, but that is a possibility.
Yeah, that small key could also just be in GT if TR is dependent.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh well, the last 2 even.
I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea how many maps we've picked up at this point. I don't think any of us have actually done a map check. I mean, certainly, you know, me may not actually necessarily care all that much because once you go into a dungeon, you just, you know, if you have the map, you just kind of know. Actually,
yeah,
I guess,
and it's AD, so you just kind of want to clear everything anyway.
Yeah, for... Alright, Rikisune finishing up... Ooh, finishing up Eastern... Oh, nice red mail. So we have green pendant turn-in that gets us blue mail from Sahasrah, and we have a... Looks like this is our 3rd pendant that we've discovered in Eastern Palace.
Yeah, looks like we get to pull pedestal on Kitsune's side.
So, does this actually mean that there's nothing in GT for us?
Yes, that means there's nothing in GT for us.
Okay, so Desert Palace Big... is okay, so I guess on at least Rikisune's side, we need Desert Palace Big Key and Meyer Big Key.
Yep, and 2 TR smalls, with 1 being known on Zoralash.
Right. And 2 swords. I completely agree with Sigma. 1 sword is not sufficient for our runners. Okay, we need 2 more. I mean, he also could just mean 2 swords in general, but I'm adamant that we need tempered for people to actually have a good time with this.
Well, Kitsune already has the Master Sword, so...
True, yeah. And Kober's gonna get it very soon here.
Yeah.
But we definitely want tempered for, at least, for the foreseeable future. Those, I guess, technically, can be in GT. Oh. Holy cow! Well, I didn't realize it was actually the big chest. I think that's probably what I missed from Ice Palace, man. Imagine, I guess this is that. I think that's one of the reasons why you want to try and come here with the big key, right? Is when you have some situation like that. I mean, in this case, luckily, like the big key was just here in Ice Palace and it was vanilla. But man, that is a very painful item to go back to.
It's true. Like, actually, super fortunate. Especially for Red Kitsune, because he had some extra stuff not done yet before coming in here. Yeah, that Vicky was just in Ice Palace.
Okay, so I guess, so do you have a sense of whether or not you would still do left side swamp if you're 2 items from go mode? So in this case, we need, I guess technically 3, right? So we need 2 big keys and 1 small key. I guess maybe on that, maybe you're just doing left side swamp.
Yeah, probably. It's so awkward in Key and boards. You kinda just have to do it. Well, you can take the risk. I mean, you can still always take the risk. Fine.
That's true. Yeah, I would actually maybe assume that Rekusune. I just imagine him must feeling like phenomenal through this entire seed because again he's made so many good decisions. His early game was amazing. Extremely playable at like 4 minutes. Not 4 minutes, but I mean like extremely early, right? He made the right decision to go into pod with 2 small keys. Got his mitts, hook shot, fire rod, etc. early. I mean he's just been basically just on a tear with the rest of the dungeon. So he, if he can probably actually spare a good amount of time just being thorough.
Yeah, everything he's done has paid off. He does have Catfish orphaned, sorta, because he does have the mirror for Grave Edge now. So actually, it's like comboable. And eventually, if he wants to take that route, he will also combo it into Zora and Zora Dash. So he will get his TR small key from there. So. And that's like the only stuff that he really has left open. So
right,
he doesn't even really need to be concerned about like the locations he skipped or whatever, because yeah, he can still combo them really efficiently.
Yeah, I mean that's yeah, and as you kind of mentioned earlier though, like his decisions have really. Man, they've really paid off like quite well for him. I mean, like it's very difficult to construct a better route. I mean, certainly caveat, like if you have a spoiler log for this one, right, you probably can construct something that is a bit more efficient. But in terms of just playing the seed for the first time, his route here is incredibly difficult to beat.
Yeah.
Alright, but then, that being said, though, we are still at least one Turtle Rock small key away. We do need for sure two pretty elusive big keys. Desert Palace big key, which we know is not in Desert Palace, and the Mire big key, which could be in Mire. We just don't know. But I mean, we still have, I guess, a good amount of places to go search for it.
Yeah, Rekusune did not go back for the big chest, right? For import.
He did not, correct.
Yeah, so that's a skip that definitely paid off for him, because Korek just one time got 50 rupees.
Oh, 50 rupees? Yeah. I mean, Korek has not left for basically any holes, I think, either. So it just happens to be, unfortunately, right, that they haven't really yielded anything of value. Okay, so let's go. What's by the way? Yeah, that's what we're also hoping to. We have enough.
Yeah,
okay, yeah, looks.
Yeah, either the Maya dip or the TR dip right now are looking very promising, because there was nothing in Swamp. I think there was nothing in Swamp, right?
There was nothing in Swamp. I guess there was a logical Skullwoods small key. But yeah, we don't care at this point for how many Skullwoods small keys. We just really care about that first one. That really helps us not inefficiently go through the dungeon. But after that, I think it's just more of a oh cool, it's in logic now.
Yeah. You're not too worried about that. I mean, it's the flute, so now Maya, I guess, is in logic, if that influences your decision. Yeah. I don't think it does for Red Kitsune necessarily, considering the pod dip earlier.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, considering Hobo, considering Pod, considering him, and considering many things. But I mean, I think that's also part of the game as well. Is you talk about trying to efficiently full clear. I think I think it was Ack among other people who also tried to play like a key seed or cross key seed, like strictly following logic. It can be very convoluted at times. So if you can sequence break, like it certainly can lead to a lot of like efficiency and time gain for that. You just have to be like conscious enough to try and like make sure that you keep track of the logic that you're breaking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot about these mirror checks that we have.
Yeah, we're gonna do. This is an interesting way to do this. So I think if you wanted to do everything you have left optimally, you would start with bombos, then do K45, then go to the purple chest from there. But I guess we're just not doing purple chest. That's also fine.
Yeah, I was actually wondering in this case, like when Bombo's tablet is going to get checked, because I guess this is also not a very great location to go look at, but again, this is probably about the best you're going to get.
Yeah, after swamp is basically the only time that Bombo's tablet is good.
Yeah, good. Everything is relative here. Mm-hmm. All right, what does this tablet have? Yeah, so we got, I guess, quote unquote, lucky with Ether tablet in that we didn't have a second sword, so we actually just was able to read the text. Here, not as lucky because we have to go through the entirety of Bombo's animation, and it turns out it was just only 3 bombs. So
looks like it's Maya time. This makes sense, picking Maya over TR, especially Rekitsune being 2 small keystones for TR.
Right. He hasn't gone over to Sora yet either.
Oh, we haven't even been in the Maya share too, so yeah, makes a lot of sense to be here.
Where was Ether? Do you remember?
Oh, was it? That was... But what? There was bombos for Maya?
It was, yeah. Well, right. So like,
yeah, okay.
So Korik has Ether, but Rekitsune checked, and I would assume that he doesn't have Ether. Otherwise, he wouldn't have checked. He would just basically would have, walked up there.
I guess it.
Or maybe he just has Ether. That's also I also remember.
Oh, I bet. Okay, fair enough.
Oh, actually, okay. So talking about, we do have the cape here in Bumper Ledge. No.
Yeah, Rekitsune already checked Bumper Ledge, so I think there was nothing there.
Oh, he did check North Rockwood? Okay, alright, sounds good.
Yeah, after Skywars, he went down to the Thieves and checked Bumper Ledge.
Okay, that does make sense. Alright, so it looks like Rekitsune is going to take the backdoor route into Desert. We do have the small key that he has basically... Yeah, I think he came in just to check the map chest. Well, at least, yeah, I think he's he peeked the torch.
This is... I wonder if he maybe just doesn't want to go into Maya here, because if you go into Maya, like, you can just mirror at the front and check the right side from there. That's a little bit more efficient.
Okay. All right. What do you think that if Korik is gonna skip left side swap? Like, we know from Rekitsune's side that it is nothing. So I'd really like for him to be able to save that extra, like, minute or so. I just don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't think Korik would usually skip it. On the other hand, I don't know how he's feeling about the seat. Maybe he feels bad enough that he feels like he should try to save those 1.5 minutes.
The only real thing I can think of... Okay, so for what it's worth, I don't think that he feels necessarily, like, as bad for when he got the boots, because, like, as we kind of, seen earlier, doing Hobo so early, basically, very far out of logic is probably not something that you would necessarily might expect from your opponent. So, while, like, and he did kind of get those the boots kind of almost as fast as he, did, like, after he got Dark World Access and got into, like, Thieves Town. But, like, yeah, maybe he doesn't feel that great about, like, putting off pod basically till the very end.
Yeah, that would be the one. Yeah, I also think you don't really feel bad about those boots, but he just doesn't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I mean, and again, these things happen, right? You can't control, where the items are placed. But looks like we are gonna get a... Well, no, we haven't gotten to left side yet. Okay, so I know that Korik has done Specky before. Hopefully he has fixed whatever he as didn't do last time, and we'll see a nice smooth opening.
Oh, no, peace. Okay, he got it, but he didn't do it like 100% consistent way.
Okay. Oh, is there a more consistent way? You say something about touching the like the rail or something, or?
Yeah, you want to move all the way to the rail, and then once you start moving right, you don't want to let go of right until you hit the explosion. So you gotta time it that way. Because with the sword you move. What was it? I think like 1, 1, 1, 2 pixels, like and 1, 1, 1, 2 pixel intervals every frame, which means like on the 4th frame you move 2 pixels at once, and if that puts you like, if the like 2 pixel movement and moves you like 2 pixels into the explosion, then you don't get the specky clip. I think that's why it fails sometimes for people.
Oh my gosh, dude, that is okay. Let me take some notes, because I don't think that was actually like a really good explanation of potentially why that specky clip can fail. No, that's actually thank you. That's actually really good.
Yeah, and if you line up with the rail and just hold straight right the entire time, then it just always works. That's why it's best to just do it that way.
That, I mean, again, this is why you're here. I mean, among other reasons, but yes, that was actually very informative.
Okay.
Lesson here on Specky Clip.
Thanks for correcting that.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, no vanilla big key in Maya. No small key at either.
Amazing.
No desert big key. So far, nothing.
Only. TR?
No.
I forgot about Castle Tower.
Yeah,
oh,
you're right. I guess that place that exists too, huh?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, so typically, yeah, right. And yeah, this is also a good PSA. Do not write off Castle Tower completely. While you don't need Aghanim to complete the goal of this mode, there are up to 2 items in Castle Tower that actually could still hold progression. But yeah, that's also kind of, especially since we've been a pyramid, maybe in late mirror. Oh my gosh, dude, that's so awful. Okay, I think the Swamp Palace big chest is just going to be like last location for everybody involved. Like that's such a bad big key. Like I mean, like we didn't find the Mire big key either, right? So you would literally have to decide to go into big keyless Mire, clear out the entirety, and then versus like basically, like a completely clearable Swamp Palace minus the big chest.
Yeah, there's a chance that Red Kitsune or maybe Korek, if he ends up going into Maya 2, feel kinda bad about the Maya dip not paying off, that they would try, go to Swarm sooner than later and pray it pays off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they decide to do.
Alright, so Rekasune, I guess, making the earlier decision to go pull pedestal. Now that it's going to be like a really great time to do it because you have to do this eventually. He did enter in the Dark Worlds.
Yeah,
so
I think maybe... we're seeing Graveyard Edge to Catfish to Zora area here, so he will get his second TR small key.
Okay, that does make a lot of sense then.
The alternative, I guess, is just Purple Chest. But those are the only 2 things he can do from here at this point.
Yeah, I was actually wondering in this case if he wants to go to Purple Chest, but I guess the stuff for North Dark World also does make a lot of sense as well.
Yeah, already having gone up to the Scarlet screen, I don't think you go to Purple Chest from here.
He also he got quite bullied actually in the Lost Woods and Skull Woods. Like I think he got robbed twice, literally physically robbed, like mugged. Lost a lot of resources. And, I understand that maybe after you've reached a certain point of wealth, you probably don't even feel it anymore. Having like whatever 1,600 rupees. Oh, there's a small key up here. That could be a TR small.
Yeah, it could be. I for some reason I thought this was arrows, but I guess was not the case.
Actually, okay, so this could be a Castle Tower small, this could be a GT small, this could be slightly delayed for our discovery for this key.
That's why you always hookshot when you have to hookshot, because that bit is just not always okay.
No, I guess, okay, technically though, you do not actually need the hookshot, it's just a convenience thing. Because, as you saw Rekasune was trying to do, he was trying to actually walk it, but yes, it is a pod key. I forgot that we had not enough pod keys. What was Faye saying? We shouldn't be concerned about those pod keys until key 5 or pod chess.
Yeah, six pod keys is what we need. I think Korek is gonna do Smiths and Purple Chest, and he hasn't done Hammer Packs actually yet.
Right.
And
I think
after this.
Yeah, and I think that's where Rekasune got his second blue potion as well, so that'll actually be pretty convenient. Oh, there's the big key too. Desert. Oh my gosh, what a terrible location.
Yeah, so this route's gonna pay off pretty nicely. He's gonna get his desert big key here, then he's gonna catch for nothing, but he will do Zora Ledge for his second TR small, which is also needed. We'll see. So Korek is doing Smith Chain with a mirror, so he will be able to do Purple Chest here, which that could be a pretty big out for Korek right now.
Yeah.
If it holds like the Maya big key or maybe a TR small or something.
Yeah, but when do you think Korek is actually going to be able to get to Graveyard Lodge? I'm trying to think in this case, like, he can probably take a very similar route to Rekasune, right? Because maybe he wouldn't want to go to North Dark World without at least, like, the Cape or something. And the Cape is just sitting in Bumper Ledge. So maybe he'll go visit the Mire area and then see Checkerboard and then, maybe he'll do North Dark Worlds. I guess maybe the question is, though... Yeah, and the question is, though, does he actually want to go into Mire? And he certainly has all the ability to do so. But yeah, I don't think that we pulled anything out that was interesting for out of Mire though, unless
no, only the Swamp big key.
Oh right. That's no. That just doesn't exist right now. I'm very sure. Oh, Nervador is actually marking Mire and Turtle Rock as our 5/6 versus 1. Okay, okay. It looks like Pyramid Fair would not be in play to it then, right?
No,
because we're missing Mire big. Alright, looks like
that doesn't
nothing. Nope. Sadly, Purple Chest. Yeah, I mean, I think Korek's decisions all have been very reasonable. He is actually trying, and he's very, I think, efficiently full cleared. Part of the unfortunate part is that he was not able to efficiently full clear in the early game because he was kind of boostless for a bit. But it just happens to also be that, some even like the out of the way locations check, like Spike Cave, Purple Chest, like they just haven't yielded anything. Which is, like you can be as efficient as you can, right? But if the check that you make doesn't actually have progression or something that you care about or bring you value, then it is still just going to be a straight time loss. It's just a reduced time loss for you.
Yeah, the skips that Rekitsune has made have paid off very well.
Okay, alright. This is GT Big Key for Korek.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
Well, I think the Turtle Rock.
Oh, okay. That's TR Small just sitting literally on Spec Rock. I'm gonna assume that Korek gets it as like, yeah, okay, that's actually really hilarious. Okay, I guess yeah, we're just gonna finish up Turtle Rock and then right. So then Rekasune is up here. I guess I'm surprised he maybe didn't want to finish Desert, or maybe he wants to try and combine that with Mire, because maybe he thinks that the Mire big key is just here in Turtle Rock, which I think looking at what we have left probably is correct, right?
Yeah, probably. Like it could just be in Desert, but
yeah, yeah, it's just on the boss, right?
Yeah. So. Like, they look sort of close, but Korek still has to get the Desert Big Key from Graveyard Ledge. And, like, he doesn't have much other stuff left, but...
Well, he has the Mire area, right? That's what I'm kind of... Like, on the one hand, like, you definitely want the Cape from Checkerboard. I'm just worried that he's gonna go into Mire.
Well, he's probably gonna find the Mire Big Key in here.
Oh,
would be my
true.
guess.
Okay. True,
yeah,
true.
So... But yeah, it's looking pretty bad for Korek right now, because if Go Mode is, well, if the Maya Big Key is just in here, which is Go Mode, then yeah, Korek is just behind. He's gonna lose this race because Rekitsune already has the Desert Big Key. So what Korek needs is for the Maya Big Key to be either in one of the checks in pod or in Swamp Big Chest, I guess.
Oh, right. Yeah. So pretty, I guess, some pretty bad locations. Is that the Meyer big key? It is the big key to Hera. Great. That is an explicit. Yep, that's an explicit meme rule for big keys in key sanity modes. We get all the big keys that we don't want before we get the ones that we want. Happens every single seed. But of course, for Korek, as you mentioned, like he needs the Desert Palace big key as well, which we did see on Rekusune's side was in Graveyard Ledge. And I think one of the incentives for Rekusune to go up there was like he got the cape, and the mirror, and he was talking about pedestals. So, and he has kind of already been over to North Dark World or like Catfish, anything like that. So was, I think you mentioned earlier, it was pretty efficient routing. Basically to kind of go back to that area. So Korek still doesn't. He also doesn't have Graveyard Ledge. He also doesn't have Bumper Ledge checked. I'm pretty sure. But at the same time, like we've already pulled pedestal on his side. It's a bit harder for him to kind of go back to that area.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, I don't know. The cape, I think, might pull him there sooner than later. But yeah, that doesn't matter if the Maya big key is just here, because then Kitsune isn't going and just gonna be blazing ahead.
Yeah, and I think for like if Korek really is just gonna be in Maya big key go mode, type of thing. I mean, I don't think it's unreasonable for him to go into like Maya searching for it. We found a second Castle Tower small key, by the way. It is a terrible.
Right, Kitsune just actually opened
it. Wait, he did actually open it. You're right. He only has 3 keys, right? Like we know that he only has 3. He has 1 key on the small key counter.
Yep, that is not good for him. Unless Tiasma is just here. This could have been game throwing right now. Just now.
I'm like shocked.
Nice portion, bitch.
Alright, well, I mean, we are, kind of running out of locations, I guess. I mean, like, a bad case scenario for Rekusune could be, like, the Maya big key is here, and then, so he has to leave. He's gonna be Maya, and then, like, the 4th TR small key is, like, in, like, locked behind that, right? Like, big, Vitreous or Maya big.
No, so we know that the Swamp Big Chest.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Big Key Chest or something like that. Like, there's a lot of terrible checks where the Tiasmo could be at.
That's true, yeah. And of course, we'll just flip like with Pilot Spoiler coming up for next week, even though, it's just like keys modes. More often than not, you look at those spoiler modes and you're just like, okay, these are going to be the 3 TR keys I'm going to get for my runner. And then like the 4th one is just terrible. Like, go through like 10 minutes of extra content in order to go get it, something on like Green Pennant, Saha or something like that, right? We don't have to go to all dungeons. It's just terrible.
Yeah, you can clearly see Korek has 2 small keys.
Yeah, Korek definitely has 2. Even with my counting skills, I can very much see the difference between a 2 and a 1 here. So I mean, like Rekusune still has 4 more checks on Laser Bridge.
Yeah.
But still, this is very precarious. Okay, so can Rekusune with the mirror, can he save a portal?
Yes, but let's see. Does he have much stuff left that isn't mirror locked? Well, I guess there's like the pod stuff. He has 2 extra small keys right now, so he could finish off pod. Then there's the Swamp Big Chest, for which he would definitely have to mirror.
Mm-hmm.
What else do we have?
Yeah. All right. So this is still Tournament Branch. The key is slightly like darker colored. You don't have to see the key counter up top. I was staring at the key counter up top. It is not here. We found the compass to Thief's Town.
Let's go.
Yeah, that is. Oh my gosh, though, that is holy cow. What a swing. For this.
He's gonna check the Hera Big Chest here, I think. I assume. No, that would be the last Copium location because you could just do Hera Big Chest and then jump straight down.
Okay, so but we're still in a light world, right? So we can still do this safely? Okay. Okay, so he has some hope in this case of being able to save that portal, right? Like we can do desert if the TR small key is here, we can just go straight back up the mountain in the light world. Okay.
Yeah, it's still a pretty massive time loss because you have to reclimb the mountain, but it's definitely better than having 2 droppers off TR again.
Holy cow. Okay, well, that certainly has bought Korik some time to go get that Desert Palace big key. Like I said, I mean, like, I'm not sure what would... So, yeah, so okay. Korik will probably do Meyer area next after this, right? That is certainly going to be a very dense set of items. He has the mirror to go check checkerboard, which, of course, will have the cape. And that is probably the strongest incentive for him to kind of lead him back into North Dark World. Of course, the danger, right, that we've kind of seen is... if he decides to go into Meyer looking for that big key as well.
Yeah, it kind of depends too. I don't remember if Korik checked Bumper Ledge.
I didn't actually think that he did, but I guess it's also been... it's also very early. Oh, nice silvers, by the way. Oh, wait. Oh, okay, right. The mirror was our progression up the mountain, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right. I was like, wait. Hookshot was bow locked in pod. We can't be here with this other bow, and the other bow was in Paradox, so...
Yeah. Hey, where's Korik going? Oh, he's gonna check.
Oh, he's probably do Hera big, right? Yeah, as you said, this is probably not. You know, it's well, actually, okay. It's definitely still faster to run over here, right, from Turtle Rock and Mirror versus like climbing the mountain. Okay, all right. So if it's faster, then this definitely makes sense. We have not seen the Hera Small Key. Yes, certainly also Korik's key counter has said that we do not have the Hera Small Key. I was actually wondering, like, would you try and wait for the Hera Small Key before coming back over?
I think at this point you probably just assume it's in GT.
Okay.
You pray it's in GT.
Yeah, that's definitely something that you don't want to see. Alright, okay, so what's here in this Heretic chest? As Berkusune is finishing up Landmos, it is the unique rupee hoard? Not hoard, unique rupee collection of 100. Only found in Eastern Palace in the vanilla game.
5 couches worth of money.
That's right. Man, imagine being able to afford a couch, you know? It's a dream here, alright?
Okay. I'm sad to hear that.
Sometimes the apartments are just not big enough in the city. Alright, okay. Alright, so that is crystal number, N-2 for Rekisune. He is missing 4-0, so both he himself and Korik are missing the Meyer Biki, and Rekisune is now also missing the Turtle Rock Small Key, the fourth one that we potentially need. So while basically like he is looking for that one, Korik is going, that will buy Korik's hopefully enough time, if you're rooting for Korik, to go get the Desert Biki off of the Graveyard Ledge. So this, at least, you know, again, this is the strongest push that he's gonna get over there. And then, but looks like maybe with the mirrors he might flute. Oh no, we're in the light.
No,
he's never mind. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like not. It's just 2 items versus 6 in Meyer. So. Oh, there's.
My gosh, there is the second. Well, all right, okay. So that is certainly something that Rekisune needs. That being said, he. Oh, actually, can he go back? Can you see? Does he have a portal save? He does, right?
I guess so, right? He went here right after desert. So yeah, I guess he gets to reuse that portal.
Wow. Very, very fortunate for him.
Oh, he even checked if it's still there. That's
He's like, let me make sure that I still have it. But yeah, that's one Light World Death Mountain trip climb is significantly nicer than the Turtle Rock, whatever. You'll go on Dark Death Mountain and going basically the entirety of Turtle Rock for him.
So where's the Maya Biki at this point?
Yeah, that's a great question. Because it's definitely not on Trinex, as we saw.
Yeah, it's... What do we have? We have this one big chest, and we have 2 chests.
Yeah, we have
6
pod
small lock chests and pod.
We don't even...
Which we're still on 5 small keys.
Yeah, right. Like, we don't have enough to put those keys in logic. But I guess maybe, like, if you maybe just want to think that the Swamp Big Chest has the last pod key, and then you would go to pod?
Yeah, that's possible. And also, I guess 100% locations is... I don't know how broken it is. I think it was just a few specific chests that could have the self-locking small key.
Yeah, but I think for the tournament branch, for League, I think we're still using inventory.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, so we're using 100% locations for cross keys because that's entrance, and I think that's actually functional, like fully functional.
Okay.
But for regular non-entrance stuff, yeah, we can't. Is this not? Maybe I'll go check the. Okay, you know what? I'll go check. I'll go check the modes.
Yeah, I thought I read too that it's. No, it's not. Okay, I trust T Sigma. He's an admin. He knows the stuff. So 100%.
Sigma knows a lot. Yes.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, why would you use locations when it's broken?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think for the latest version, like with fast realm and everything, I think they did fix it because I think that's what Ladder uses, right? For the for their 216 hundo thing. But yeah, because it's on the tournament branch still, it's not functional or it's not fully functional. Alright, there is Swamp Big for Korek, because again, you need every single big key to appear that you don't want to see before you see the one that you do want to appear. So the good news for Korek is that the next big key that he finds is going to be the one that one that he cares about.
Yay!
Yes.
Great news. Okay, so I assume Red Kitsune is gonna do Hera Big Chest and Spike K from here. Because I guess just like those locations are not great, but he just like every single location he has left is not great, so I assume he's gonna give the time of checking those back to Korek here. Korek is gonna get his 4th Tiasmo and feel terrible.
yeah, that's also very true too. Oh, where are we going? Oh, maybe he did Scout Floating Island?
Or maybe he just forgot what it was.
Oh, okay. Alright, I mean that's all fine. You know, sometimes, you know, when you're an hour, 35 into the seed, especially after you presumably on accident open the lava chest door in Turtle Rock. I mean, it was a very fortunate kilo, the 4th Turtle Rock key was very fortunate for Rekisune in that he didn't, he was able to save his portal, but still that must have been quite the scare for him.
Yeah, and I think we're pretty... No, not equalized. Kitsune has already done Desert, and obviously gotten the big key. So I think Korek is still a little behind here.
Yeah, right, so he still needs to go to North Dark Worlds. And then, as you mentioned, he has to beat Desert, so that's a handful of minutes in terms of stuff that he still needs to go in addition to go find the Mire. Of course, that being said, Rekisune, you did mention like the number of checks that he has left. His options are really kind of bad, right? Like, and he's just kind of like long ones, right? So in this case, like for example, if Rekisune does Purple Chest, right, it's still going to be some amount of time investment for him that he's going to get back to Korek. Speaking of though, we are going to go back to we're doing North Dark World, so this is going to be really good for Korek. He's going to go pick up his Desert Palace big key.
Yep. Where's Red Kitsune going? Are we swapping to Hammer or Flute? It's Flute.
Where are we going?
Is this Purple Chest? It's Pod, okay.
Okay.
So these are new checks. The Maya big key could be there. Probably one self-locking pod key at this point, and then the other one could be something. It makes sense that Red Kitsune is more inclined to come here. Like for one, it's 2 checks with those 2, but then there's also the big chest that he hasn't done yet. So for him, it's 3 checks in total. And yeah, after this, Korek will, obviously to Desert, and after that he has to make a decision between Pod and Swamp. And I think to be ahead, he would need to choose Swamp, and the Maya big key would have to be there.
For what it's worth, we are kind of running out of locations for this thing to be. I mean, we're looking at a collective, like, 3 locations that we haven't seen yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, there is, yeah. Oh my gosh. All right, so okay, either the pod key is just in Swamp Big Chest or is self-locking. But yeah, so that is go mode for Rekisune. He is ready to go off to Mire. Meanwhile, Korek is gonna finish up Desert, and then yeah, I guess for him to, but hopefully in this case, like he'll actually still go into Pod, but he certainly does. He is at a deficit at this point. I'm trying to actually think that if there are locations that Korek can check. Like, okay, so maybe like another scenario is Korek goes and checks Harmless Hallway first, and then finds, let's say, like a sword, and then gets the Mire Big Key, and just having the 6 pod key be in Swamp. Like, that could certainly help, speed things up a bit for the end game. If Rekisune doesn't find Temper.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening though. Like, you just do Big Key test first because it's faster. But yeah, this is gonna be Rekitsune's game to lose for sure.
I think for what it's worth, probably in his mind, I think he really did try. He was on an amazing path, even from basically time 0. All the decisions that he's made they just paid off so well. Early boots at out of a very out of logic hobo. He went to Pod on 2 keys, got so much progression, like Miss, Fire Rod, hook shot that was bow locks, and just had made basically every single decision. Like went to Paradox to go get the Skullwoods Big Key as well, right, to be able to single dip Skullwoods. Went to Ice Palace, got Inspired. Like there's so many good things like that he has done this seed. And then, I assume in this case it was still unintentional, that maybe just muscle memory, and he opened the lava chest, and then probably a bit more of actual panic versus picnic, to basically, where is that 4th Turtle and of course, certainly, very fortunate for him that it was actually just a Castle Tower.
Yeah, it could have been way more punishing if it had been in like the Swamp Big Chest or something like that.
Yeah, because at least thankfully with the mirror he was able to save his portal, and yeah, he really did try. He went to Desert to finish that, still in Light World, and he's catching his Castle Tower, also in Light World. It was All right, well, looks like Korek at least he's finished up Desert, and he's looking like he's gonna go en route to go get his Mire Big Key.
Yeah, so at least he didn't pick Swamp.
Yeah, that's true.
Not gonna be the worst scenario here, but definitely gonna be like 2 or 3 minutes behind.
Yeah, looks like it, because he has to do Vanilla Big Key, and then which, I mean, it's not long, but it's also not short. But then he also has to go all the way to the back of Mire, which is certainly, especially if you run NMG and you may or may not have taken a fall to Vitreous at some point and then had to go back and kill the boss again. Yeah, you might have a sense of how long that takes. Hypothetically speaking, of course.
Oh yeah. Yeah, nobody's ever died to Vitreous in NMG or other contexts.
Or really any time, yeah. Maybe, for those who want a more, closer to home, rando relation, especially with the advent of Quick Swap and the mirror that you probably, have at that point. Make sure that you count the number of arrows that you're firing, accurately, and don't necessarily, quick swap over to, to another item that is not the bow, but is very close to the bow, and accidentally, take an early exit before you kill Vitreous.
Never.
Never. Never has happened before.
But yeah, this is quite a large gap right now. I feel like with this many hearts and stuff, like it's almost impossible for Rekitsune to like die in the GG climb. So the only thing that could happen would be like a disaster master sword cannon or something like that. But I don't think that'll happen with half magic and cape. And I think he bought a potion, so he has a blue potion as well.
Oh, true. That's right. Yeah, he definitely made a conscious to stop to do the potion to the potion shop.
A nice frame roll in Korik's side.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you never expect to just dash through the fire snake, and then you always bonk. It just happens every time.
All right. Okay. Rekusune is starting up his climb, and of course, you know, this is well. While the Myra Biki was certainly not, and the Desert Palace Biki for that matter, were certainly not in very pleasant locations, this is also one of the benefits of being able to get everything before GT is that you do not have to touch the basement. So for those of you, you know, who are fans of either, you know, larger collection rates, right, or counting along in GT, I don't. Well, okay, Rekusune probably get 1 or 2 maybe in upstairs, because as you mentioned earlier, Master Sword Ganon is probably not that pleasant. We do have silvers for what it's worth, but if you can find that tempered sword, that will certainly speed up phases 1 and 2.
Yeah, I expect to check all 4 chests that are upstairs, because tempered just makes a really big difference.
By the way, good thing Rekusune has a potion, by the way, that he bought. That was okay, like taking a death on GBZ. Certainly not going to be the end of the world. It might be a little tilty, you know, especially given what happened to Turtle Rock. Maybe we haven't fully recovered from that situation, but that was certainly not expected.
Yeah, the worst part about having this potion is that you're stuck with sword beams until you take damage.
Yeah, true. And we're on red mail, as you mentioned, right? Actually, so I'm curious, like how much better, I guess, like relatively speaking, is like Master Sword Gauntlet versus like Fighter Sword Gauntlet? Does it make that much of a difference?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Because with Fighter Sword you can't kill anything in 1 hit there, and with Master Sword the only thing you can't kill in 1 hit is other red Zazags.
Okay.
So Master Sword almost does everything you needed to in the climb, almost.
Almost. Okay. Okay. So it actually does
like
make a pretty big difference. Yeah. I mean, I'm just wondering in this case, like, it seems still like if you have tempered. I mean, certainly, you know, you have a lot of muscle memory comfort, you know, for having tempered with boots, you know, doing the GT climb. Whether or not you're an MG runner or not, I mean, that's just like a, you know, very familiar, you know, time for you in the gauntlet. But so I just assume that's, you know, certainly a nice upgrade from Master Sword. But I'm just wondering in this case, like, if you happen to be, I guess, not as powerful. You know, like how much difference that would have made.
Tempered sword is, of course, like the.
You think we're gonna see tempered, by the way, on the stage?
I think the odds are pretty high. Well, like we've cleared like everything that isn't GT, so.
Yeah, but I mean, the 2 swords kids are just sitting in GT, like GT Rando room and like GT Compass room, and I don't know. Yeah. Like there are only 4 chests up here.
Like how many chests do we have outside of GT? Not many, right? I think this is like a 4 in 30 or something like that.
Yeah, well, so looks like that the compass counter is going to stay pristine at 0 because Rekusune.
Wow.
You didn't do any mini helmet chests. We are doing 1 chest. We are 300 rupees richer. Never mind. Holy cow.
Yep, that was the only one we're doing.
Yep.
Unless.
Korik really showing off that Master Sword for us.
Like this is slow run.
It is.
You have to put it away.
I know. It's not even tempered. Like, I can certainly forgive you if it's tempered. Or if it's fighter, for that matter, because, you know, you gotta have faith, right? That there's a sword here at GT. But if it's not, then, you know, nobody really wants to get Master Sword. Alright, looks like Rekusune, yeah, that was another thing he did really well in pod, right? He also nailed the pod hover first try. You know, certainly was a really nice time save from his part too. Very nice mushroom. That also could be a sword. Maybe this is why you don't check chests. The upstairs GT.
I guess you also don't have the shovel. You also don't have any boomerang somehow. That's pretty interesting.
True. We didn't even see it, right? Yeah. I guess, man, GT Basement also must be very just clustered filled with stuff. Yeah, no shovel, no boomerangs. I just see the mushroom. Nervendor is also, you know, very diligent, tracking everything that we've seen in GT as well. Alright, we're trying. We're trying to get through this fight. Okay. Alright, good recovery on Rikusune's side. I've heard that fight is impossible from very reliable sources. Can you
It
confirm?
actually is. Yes, I've
Thank you
tried
for
it
being-
before, and it's impossible.
Yeah, thank you for being a reliable source.
And now just one Master Sword getting away from victory. Shouldn't be much of an issue with silvers and cape and half magic.
Yeah, I certainly assume that with silvers, like and half magic especially, right? Like the magic pressure that you have, like for phases 1, 2. So while Rekusuna has red mail, he's got 13 hearts and stuff, so I really don't imagine him, being really in danger of taking a lot of damage. But I guess you could probably just use the cape pretty cavalier, right?
Yeah, for sure. Especially now that he's up against like the bottom wall, you can just, in theory, just use the cape and spin, and then once you're done, you hold the wall and you're done. But I mean, yes, he might not know it, but he has the time to also take it slow. So
True.
These are very fortunate cannonballs away. You're able to do double hits everywhere without having to employ cane strats.
Yeah. Yeah, looks like, we already through phases 1 and 2, so we're just gonna go through the motions for phase 3. Korik is up here in upper GT. We have 20 rupees. We have a piece of heart that didn't even give us a refill. Yeah, I wonder what all these swords are. I mean, again, they could just be, they could be sitting in GT basement. It could be Swamp Big, for what it's worth. It could be Pod, Harmless Hellway. All the locations, right, that we haven't seen.
Yeah, who was racing yesterday? I think was it Beer against Hitsu, where Beer like coming into GT with big key already. Oh. Oh my.
Okay, nobody panic. Okay, we're only picnicking. That is holy frig. That okay. Rekusuna is
Rekusuna is still ahead. It's definitely still ahead, but that along with the mental damage could be. Oh
my god.
Could be something.
it very well could be something. And so I was gonna say like so all the boss RNG is seeded, but he's gonna have different warp patterns here for Ganon, right? Because he fell.
I think that's how it works, at least in theory. But yeah, these are different, right?
Yeah, and so you also mentioned that the patterns were pretty friendly, I guess, like at least in the first time. So I'm gonna assume that Korik will maybe have a similar time. But here, I guess like I don't know if they're better or worse or maybe about the same.
Yeah, so the patterns were the same, but like here in phase 2, he is able to double spin at the top. So that's a good pattern. He's not done with phase 2 though. That's another thing. If you use the cape there, you can actually be done with phase 2 in one cycle if you do it right.
I cannot believe how close this race is, given everything that's happened in this seed. Holy cow! All right, well we're on phase 3. No, Korik is
trying to do cane strats.
Yeah,
that's not really working. Yeah, really hard.
I think Rekusuna is he's gonna try and be a little bit more careful on phase 3, potentially phase 4. All right, yeah. So okay, we've gone through phase 3. We do not care about Torch Glitch because we do have silvers. He is taking it super cautiously. Oh, almost a triple. Okay. God, fire. nice silverless spin.
No, Korik.
Oh my gosh, no, Korik. It's fine, he just needs to live. Oh my god!
Oh no!
Oh
what is going on?
Oh my gosh, dude! Okay, he again, no panicking allowed. Nobody is allowed to panic. Okay,
we got
that is
there.
yeah, that is the 4th silver arrow for Rekusune. For both faces. What a firecracker finish for him. Get your GGs out in chat for Rekusune taking the victory over Korek. and what a stunningly close race at the very end. What a roller coaster.
Yeah, Rekitsune definitely tried his hardest to make this race close in the last 20 minutes.
Holy Frank. Alright, well, get your GGs in chat for Korek. I think his Ganon fight maybe was a touch smoother than so he played very, still very well done, Korek. Very, very close. We are joined by today's victor, Rekusune. Oh, GG's.
GG's Rekitsune.
So I guess I get the hobo boots really early.
You did. Yeah. We are also joined by Korek. GG's Korek.
Hey,
GG's Korek.
GG's. So when Korek find the boots?
Like 30... 20 minutes later than you? Yeah, probably even more.
Yeah. I think he found it like maybe like a 30-ish minute mark. Basically right after he found Flippers in Thieves Town. That is when he finished up Thieves Town and then he went to Hobo. Do you want to guess when Rekusune went to Hobo? Correct. That might have been, part of the contributions of the time difference that you guys had. But we can talk about the late game in a little bit.
I mean, I after Ice Ride Cave, I don't know.
That is correct, actually.
Exactly what happened.
After I Frost Cave, that we don't have Moon Pearl neither money for Thora, so I got to Hobo and there was the boots.
Yeah, you're. I'll go for it.
With the route you took, probably the best place for the boots to be for you, because that's like the only early game check that one of you might check and the other one might not, and that's exactly what happened. But made a huge difference. The other huge difference was the play on Pod really early, where you just got the mids and hookshot and fire rod right away.
Pod. When we get access to the Dark World, I am thinking on Pod, but I only have one key, and I am going to Hype Cave, and I say to myself, if I find another key of Pod, then I go to Pod, and it was so that's what the only reason I went to Pod, because I was thinking 2 keys is the good number to go to Pod. Also because I had the boots, so it was in order to do the hover, it was going to be a nice pod, more or less, early.
Yeah, that was a really nice and fast pod hover. It probably saves like around the time that you ended up winning by in the end. So very good that you pulled it off.
Yeah. So I guess we'll maybe start with maybe the less pleasant aspects of your race. So I'm gonna assume that the Turtle Rock open of the lava chest door, like, was that? I assume that was unintentional.
Yes, yeah. Well, I was totally thinking okay, I am still looking for something, what I am, and then I opened the door.
Yeah, it just happens. Sometimes you're just so lost in thought, you just autopilot into the door, and then you're like, oh no, what have I done?
Mm-hmm.
I was pretty much thinking that I have lose already there, because where is going to be this 4 TR key? I try to keep the portal. Let's say that I find the key in the light ward, and at the end it works. So I was also happy for that.
Yeah, you could have definitely gotten a lot more punished if, like, worst case, it had been in the Swamp Big Chest or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you definitely. Yeah, I'm really sorry about the fall. Yeah, I guess I'm not really sure kind of what happened, but definitely the Ganon fight definitely kept it really close.
What happened in the first try is there is some kind of glitch that the left torch never goes out. Or goes out, but graphically it is always with fire. I think I remember that, because I tried to hit Ganon with the both touchers fired, but Ganon wasn't vulnerable. So I think
Was that what happened?
I think that happened, and everything else that was happening this Ganon Master Sword. So at the end, I fall.
Ah, that's what happened. Yeah, I think it happens when you light both torches on the same frame. I think.
It's something like that, no? In this game, is the same frame or the next frame or something like that.
Yeah, I see now. That's why it happened. That makes sense.
Sorry about no tempered sword. We were really hoping that you guys would find any semblance of a sword, and I guess it was just Master Sword Silvers today. But yeah, big GGs to you guys both. This was at least the race itself was quite the roller coaster. So thanks for making it very exciting. And thank you guys both so much for racing.
Yeah, I mean it was a seed.
It was a seed. Yeah, I don't know like how how were you kind of feeling I guess throughout the seed like were you like I don't know like how were you feeling when you got boots versus like when you went to pod and stuff like that. I don't know if you necessarily felt like bad per se, but I don't know if you necessarily felt great either.
I mean, it crossed my mind that you could fake flipper to Hobo. Like it crossed my mind that I have no idea if he fake flippers after Ice Rod Cave without boots. So, I mean, it crossed my mind, but at the same time, I don't know. I liked my routing choices at every point, but didn't like some of my execution. But you'll have that from time to time. But I don't know. Like it's just a rough seed. I'm glad that I'm almost done with 1v1s in League. So
True. Yeah. This is we're wrapping up. Yeah, AAD keys for League. And of course, next week is going to be another awesome co-op week. My personal favorite, I think, is big fan favorite for many people. Really got to see it back in League, which is Pilot Spoiler. Can't wait to see the Kojim team back again. So that should be a lot of fun. But until then, that's next week's business. Today, later on, though, I believe the next race actually on the docket is the second game of a quote-unquote doubleheader. It is a doubleheader to me because I'm going to be sleeping in the next couple hours. So when I wake up, it'll basically be like race time. It'll be the counterparts, of course, of your team. So Jem, you'll be racing Kaede later this afternoon. Any thoughts?
Yeah. I hope Kaede doesn't fake flipper to Hobo and get his boots there because I will not take Hobo early either.
That's great. Yeah, I was wondering like I do know that you have a propensity to go find boots early. Well, hopefully because that's what happened in co-op week 1. So hopefully you can extend that trend. So in the records unit, big GG's on. I mean, your early game was so good. Early to mid game, you were just knocking out of the park. Like, every single decision you made was so good, and it just paid off. And all the skips that you made also were like, I mean, they were also paid off, right? And that they weren't valuable. Like Korik checked, early Spike Cave, like Catfish. I mean, you eventually kind of did some of these things as well. But I mean, like all of the early stuff that was just very, very valuable. Like you didn't have to go through those things. So.
Really, at the end, I almost cleared my map. It was everything checked, but the route was getting together. The deep in mire is the only thing that really felt awful. And when I waste the TR keys is when I started to panic. GG's at the end. Thanks for everybody for the stream, and see you in another time.
Yeah, GG's. Yeah, welcome back to League. So I think this is your first game, right? Playing this season for your team.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So good. Yeah. So good. Good de-rest. Finding boots. 4 minutes in.
Yes.
That's a good good way to start off. All right. Yeah. Well, certainly. Yeah. Best of luck to your team moving forward. And of course, we will see Jem versus Kaede, I believe, on SpeedGaming 2 at 4:10 Eastern. Maybe I should make that into Central European time because that's pretty much where everybody here involved is operating on that time zone. So it is 10 p.m. I think where you guys are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, yeah. So that should be a lot of fun. And then, of course, at 7:40 p.m. Eastern, it is the other game of the night this evening, Muguharan versus Telethar on SpeedGaming. So until then, have a great rest of your day. For those of you maybe who can get an early weekend start, enjoy. Until then, we'll see y'all later today.